Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jorvik. And in today's video, we're going to be reacting to the Disney Plus look ahead trailer for Marvel. I believe this trailer is supposed to showcase everything that's coming out, by the end of this year and as well basically all of next year. I know we're going to get some first looks at some stuff that I've seen some screen grabs of, but I haven't actually seen the trailer. So, but I'm excited. I'm excited for this because we're gonna get our first look at Daredevil, get our first look at Ironheart, our first look at Wonder Man, which I forgot was a show that was happening, and I think we're also getting some animated stuff as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and just dive into this trailer, and then I will do my best to break it down afterwards. As always, if you like this type of content, don't forget to like and subscribe.
I brought you here to offer you an opportunity.
Oh, I smell what you're stepping in. It's gonna get good.
Oh, that's cool. There's Ironheart. Ooh, was that Muse? There's Daredevil.
You've come up in the world.
I could say the same about you.
I wonder if your darker half would agree.
Man, I cannot wait for Daredevil. Oh, was that Bullseye?
Hey, what kind of a lawyer are you?
A really good one.
Is that Kamala's dad? That's Spider-Man. Ooh, it's interesting art style. There's Ironheart.
Anyone who's ever
Whoa.
accomplished anything iconic in life
That looks like the Speed Booster armor.
had to do some questionable things to get it
Star
done.
Booster armor. Sorry. There's What If Season 3. Oh, Shang-Chi. Oh yeah, Marvel Zombies.
You can slate whenever you're ready.
Simon Williams, reading for Wonder
It's
Man.
Wonder Man. Yeah.
I was born to play this character.
And we both have a lot riding on this.
It's Trevor.
Don't mess this up. I know.
I am ready.
Eyes of Wakanda. There's Deadpool. Okay.
Marvel Jesus.
We have a long road ahead of us. Much to do.
Oh my god!
Oh wow. Ooh, there's a lot of dates there. Sick. So a lot to talk about here. I think we got a lot of things going on here. I have it up on this screen here because they pulled the scene obviously from Deadpool and Wolverine where he's looking at the MCU. So it looks like we have Ironheart, obviously, Riri Williams. Below that, I can't tell what that is. That looks like, I want to say Muse, maybe from Daredevil. Obviously Daredevil in the middle, and we got Wonder Man in the on the right here. I think these are going to be the three big shows that come out next year, at least live action wise. As you see down here, we also have a look at they changed. It was, I believe, Spider-Man freshman year, but I think over the last 5 years, I mean, that show was announced a long time ago. I think they just changed it into the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which I'm cool with. And it looks like here we have that looks like that's from Eyes of Wakanda. I can't tell what that is in the bottom or what that is next to it. But that right there, that's interesting. That looks like White Tiger. I knew that he was rumored to be in this show and Daredevil. But I don't think I ever saw confirmation, but that right there is pretty cool. That's White Tiger, for sure. And obviously Wolverine, and then that looks like Fisk down there in the bottom right. This is interesting. This is our first look at Muse. I don't know what his real name is. I do know he's tied to a couple different Marvel characters in the comics. From what I know about him, he is an artist, I believe, and he's so delusional to the point where he uses people and bodies. He's a serial killer and he uses their bodies and stuff like that to create art, mostly murals. I think he was first introduced in Daredevil comics, I'm pretty sure, but also what is that hero? He's like Daredevil. Blind Spot I think first discovers him, and then Daredevil's brought in, and it's a whole thing. So I'm really curious to see how he fits into all this. I wonder if they're going to tie his origin to the blip. Maybe during the blip, maybe he survived during the blip and he kind of became this deranged killer and all this kind of stuff, and artist from the trauma of that. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but it is curious to kind of see him. He looks just like he does in the comics, which I'm really glad that Marvel, with Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean, they've been doing it for a while, but with like Phase 4 and 5, and I guess going into 6 as well, they're really like, okay, people are used to superpowered people. People are used to crazy superpower costumes. Let's really make these comic accurate. And you see that a lot through a lot of their TV shows and movies. Obviously, with Deadpool and Wolverine, we just got Wolverine in his full yellow and blue and cowl. And so I'm really glad that Muse here is looking like his comic accurate self. It's nice to see Wilson Fisk back. We saw him in the Echo mini series, which I actually really enjoyed. I really like grounded stuff, which is why I like the Netflix shows a lot as well. Which this seemingly is a continuation of. I mean, I think they've talked about how Daredevil is this is basically season 4 of that show. And so and I obviously in like the real world with the rights and stuff like that, it is kind of like a complicated thing, but it is cool to see. We're picking up where we left off in Echo with Fisk, him running for mayor of New York City, and obviously his struggle and battle as the Kingpin against Daredevil and presumably the other street level heroes. I absolutely love this shot. This kind of isolated shot between Fisk and Matt. It's just like, because obviously they know who each other are, and so it is one of those things where I bet this scene is just gonna be very heavy dialogue. It's just gonna really set the stakes between these two characters. I also notice here that Fisk looks relatively smaller than he did in Hawkeye and a little bit in Echo. So I don't know if that's just, them just kind of downplaying him a little bit to make him feel more realistic instead of that hulking figure like they made him in Hawkeye. But I do notice that he's looking eye to eye with Matt, and I don't know if it's on purpose, but I don't know, something to note, I guess. We also get our first shot of Vanessa. I don't remember what her name is, so I apologize. But this is a different actress from the one that played her in the Netflix shows. I think they look relatively similar. I don't really remember her from that show. I would have to go back and watch that show because it's been a long time. But yeah, so Vanessa is back with Fisk. He's in his full white suit, so I love it. This is the best screen grab I can grab, but this looks like Bullseye. He's wearing he has the full cowl on. Obviously, I'm pretty sure in a full trailer we'll probably see him reveal, but I don't know if it's the same actor who played him in the season 3 of Daredevil, which I actually really liked his character. He played just the right of psychotic, I think. But it is kind of cool. He's in a costume, Marvel's not afraid to again put these people in costumes. And of course we got the new Daredevil suit, which looks great. Devil's advocate here. I do like the yellow and red costume that he had in She-Hulk. I thought it was just a nice just tonal shift. So I wonder if they'll address that in this, or maybe this takes place before She-Hulk. I don't know. And there is a possibility that maybe not She-Hulk herself, but Jennifer Walters, maybe she could show up in this. I don't know. But yeah, I'd be curious to see what the full look of Bullseye is, and if he has the big white bullseye on his forehead. I think that'd be really funny. And then here, this looks like Yusuf. That looks like Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, her father. So how is he involved in this and in this whole story that's going on? And will Miss Marvel show up, or maybe even Kate Bishop? There's so much that they can do with this, finally connecting all of these heroes together that live in New York and around in New York. Then we get a quick glimpse at Spider-Man, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, this new animated show with his homemade suit. I think this is supposed to be an origin story, obviously. But this is a very different take than what Tom Holland is, because I think this is supposed to be a different universe. And I think this is actually supposed to be a multiverse show. Obviously, it is a different universe because it's a different Spider-Man. But I think it maybe touch the multiverse a little bit. I'm not sure. It would be insane if we had a cameo from one of the Spider-Verse characters. I think that would be absolutely crazy. But yeah, I mean, for a homemade suit, I mean, I think it looks pretty cool. I really like the detail that he has like a battery pack in his backpack for his web shooters. That's a pretty cool detail that I really like. And here we have Ironheart. Now, I know there was a trailer that came out for this during, I believe it was D23 or Comic-Con. I can't remember. It was a few months ago. It was never released to the public, so I'm sure we'll get that soon, but we do get a little bit of it here. And I like Ironheart. I think she's great in the comics, and I know, like, I felt like she was shoehorned into Wakanda Forever, but I don't know how else you would introduce that character. But yeah, but no, I think she is a really cool character. And then we get her, it looks like a mix of a practical and obviously CGI suit. And I also like this detail here too, where she doesn't fit into the suit fully, so she has like, it's more like a mech suit, because this suit she's wearing looks way bigger, and maybe that's on purpose in a way, but I do like that detail there that she has, like, she is puppeting, right, the suit like that. Then we get our first look here at Anthony Ramos as the Hood, which is also very interesting because the Hood is a mystical villain, and it is rumored, I mean, I don't know, I think it is confirmed that Mephisto is finally going to show up in the show as he's supposed to be an agent of Mephisto. With everything we got with Agatha, I think it would be very interesting if maybe they are alluded to that. Maybe he mentions, oh, I had another agent of mine, you know, blah blah blah. But I am really curious to see exactly how also he fits into Riri's story, because the Hood being more like of a magic, he feels more like a Doctor Strange villain, or maybe an Agatha character. So it is strange that he's going up against, but I think this is supposed to be like a stepping stone to Doctor Doom, because him being also like a mystic character uses magic and science together, and he is able to, you know, command both of them. So I wonder if this is more like a stepping stone towards the idea of Doctor Doom, you know, that obviously leads into the next Avenger conflicts. And then we get this sick shot of her suit. Again, it looks like a mix of practical, kind of like the early days of the Iron Man suit in the movies, because it was bulky back then, so they could do, you know, a practical suit mixed in with the CGI elements, and it looks like they're doing the same thing here. I mean, and if that's full CGI, that looks really, really good. Personally speaking, I mean, I'm not a visual effects artist, but I mean the reflections and the armor, I mean the lighting as well, it looks, the lighting matches, because like if you look over here, it's dark in the shadow, so like I think this is practical for the most part, at least. And it also looks like I mentioned it earlier, it looks like the Star Boost armor, which was kind of hinted at in Infinity War, but it is a white and gold armor that Iron Man creates that allows him to travel in space. Here we got our first look at What If Season 3. Now this comes out soon, this comes out in December, so you know I'm gonna be reacting to it. But this is interesting here. Let's look at this. This looks like Asgardians with dark elves. There's some scrolls there. I can't really see or make out anyone back there, but they are fighting somebody. So I wonder how, there might be some Kree in here too. I don't know. But but it looks like they are going after and fighting someone. We don't really see who it is. But this is interesting too. This is like Captain America if he was like in a mech suit. I wonder if this is Steve Rogers, because he has the regular Captain America shield. And then we also get our first look at Marvel's Zombies, which is another show I forgot was happening. And I think this one's actually supposed to be TVMA, so it's going to be pretty gnarly. At least, you know, I think here. But this looks like Okoye. I can't tell who these characters are. That looks like maybe Corvus Glaive and maybe Cole Obsidian, because that's a pretty big character. And then of course just the army in the background. We also get our first look. This looks like Blade, and I think people were talking about that this is supposed to be Blade. But it looks like he has a white cloak on, and he looks like he has some like mummy wraps on. So I wonder if he's Blade possessed by Khonshu. I think, and you know, have that amalgamation of Moon Knight and Blade. I think that would be really cool. And that's what it looks like here. Of course, there is Zombie Cap, who was in season 1 of What If, but it looks really cool. So I'm really curious to see how this will unfold. And of course, we got our first look at Wonder Man. Now, Wonder Man, I'm not too well versed in. The only thing I really know about him is that he's tied to Vision somehow, I think, in the comics, and that he's part of the West Coast Avengers. That's pretty much all I know about him. So yeah, I mean, obviously I'll be watching the show, so I'm sure we'll find out more about him. But the other great thing about this show, we have Trevor Slattery back. That's freaking crazy. Honestly, Sir Ben Kingsley, crazy of him to pick up this character again. But this detail I really love in this shot. So I have acted before. I have a lot of actor friends. You know, I've worked in the film industry. So what he's doing right now is a self-tape, which is something a lot of actors do. Obviously, if you're an actor, you know exactly what this is. So basically, when you want to audition for a role, whether you're in the independent space or you're in, you know, Hollywood or whatever, of course in Hollywood it works differently. Basically, just set up a blank backdrop or just a blank wall. You get lines from, you know, the project you're auditioning for, and you basically just act out that scene. It's exactly kind of like this style. You can do it on your phone, you can do it on a camera, and this is exactly what this is. And so it's really kind of funny to see like this side of the world, right, that a lot of people don't really know and understand about, you know, unless you're obviously in that world. So that's kind of cool. So the next project we are looking at is The Eyes of Wakanda. So this is another animated show, obviously, as you can tell. And I don't know who any of these characters are. I do know this is supposed to be kind of like I don't know if it's supposed to be anthology, but I know it's just kind of just more stories that take place in and around Wakanda, you know, introducing new characters and like new stories. And, you know, I think Okoye is supposed to be in this as well. So is M'Baku. So, and I don't know when this takes place. This might take place after the death of T'Challa. Shuri assuming the throne as Queen of Wakanda. These could be different tribe members, because this guy right here at the end looks like could be from the Merchant tribe, because we've seen them in like, you know, head garb. This person, I have no idea. They're like, I don't know. They look like a Viking character, which is interesting. They could be Asgardian. I don't know. This person right here is very interesting. But yeah, I mean, I don't know anything else about these characters except that presumably are villains, maybe seeking power and control over Wakanda, which could lead into which could lead into Black Panther 3, whatever, you know, that will be. Then we get our release date. So we get What If, December 22nd. January 29th, we're getting, wow, that's soon. January 29th, we're getting Spider-Man, so we'll probably get a separate full trailer for that, probably relatively soon. March 4th, we're getting Daredevil. June 24th, we're getting Ironheart. August 6th, we're getting Eyes of Wakanda. October, we're getting Marvel Zombies. And then Wonder Man is going to cap off the year in December of 2025. So yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, a pretty stacked trailer. It's going to be very busy in 2025. Make sure we react and getting, you know, all of that juicy content. Let me know what project you're looking forward to in 2025. And if not, tell me why. As always, my name is Jorvik. I'll see you in the next one.